This show is part of the HeadStuff podcast network.
I've been very unclear with the people on the internet that they think people thought I was on holidays and they're like, enjoy your break. And I was like, I'm working. And they're like, sure, working on that tan. I was like, no, I am a huge TV star. I'm working in Tenerife. I live in Tenerife now. I don't remember my other life. I feel quite at odds here. Like, I know your faces, but I don't know who you are. You know that kind of way?
Yes, you have changed. And like, you know, I'm excited for when you're back and like maybe you might meet, you know, maybe a Spanish staff worker somewhere and you'd be like, oh, hola. Oh no, I used to live in Tenerife and, you know, I understand the Spanish customs and culture.
They're attractive. They're very attractive.
Hot and loud.
And a little bit sad.
He was the best guy around.
Oh my. Is it hot in here or what?
You're an attractive guy.
It's the fabulous Tony Cantwell.
I'm talking about Shane, Daniel, Byrne.
I was involved in a whole load of drama, I swear to God. Somebody said something and I said they opened a real can of worms and someone else was getting ready to open a big can of whoop-ass.
Oh my God.
You know what I said to them?
What did you say?
I said, lads, you're better off opening a cold can of re-raw.
Oh,
God,
man.
there you go.
And what
did you solve that?
What did they say?
They also drank one and they drank it responsibly.
Oh, yeah.
It's lovely. It's light and fresh, the re-raw.
That's the thing. And you know what? They must have figured out that actually Rira aren't going to raise their prices until January 2026.
They must have realised that, and that's why all the worms stayed in the cans.
It was a sense of an independent brewery having our backs
man,
for people involved to enjoy themselves with a bit of hops and whatnot.
Yeah, from Kilcool, County Wicklow, I think.
They sponsor the Young Hot Guys podcast. Have you heard of that?
I wouldn't listen to that.
I'm basically on, I'm on summer camp. I'm at the Gaeltacht because everyone here I didn't know. So then I come and you have to make friends and be friends together because there's no one else. You work together in the day and then it's like, well, we better hang out. And then now I'm just like, this is who I am now. Whatever they've seen of me here, that's who they think I am. And I now live by that. I'm not my real self. I'm a new person.
So you like a
pretending to be straight?
Yeah. Let me tell you, boys, I have been nailing birds every night of the week.
That's great. It's technically not cheating, so if it's birds.
I can't remember if I told this before, but remember those shows that were called Club Reps and I Beat the Uncovered and all that stuff?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
There was one years ago. I probably have told you this off pod, but let's just bring it into the pod space. There was one I watched years ago, and this is like the late 90s when misogyny was fine. No one had any problem with it then, I think. I think that's how that worked.
It was funny.
It was funny and important and a core value of society. And the rep was on the street trying to get people to go into his club. And he's like, come on in, lads. Come on in here. We got drink steals. We got live music. And we are dripping with fanny. And it is the most disgusting imagery. I mean, there's nothing wrong with dripping with fanny or a fanny dripping. Oh,
yes.
Okay, well, actually, you know what? I apologise. I actually withdraw. I withdraw my remarks.
No, it is. They shouldn't do it.
I wish to withdraw the remarks. Cantwell.
No. Unparliamentary. Could Minister Shane please apologise for the most unparliamentary language?
Well, I'm sorry, Count Collier, but in the most unparliamentary language, this place is dripping with fanny. No, it's a Gogarty. That is very unparliamentary, Fanny.
I'm invoking parliamentary privilege to declare that the place was dripping with fanny.
Have you been out at any reps? Have people been like, all right, sugar tits, come on in here. We got wings.
I actually haven't been out at all. Would you believe that?
I would believe that. Are you okay?
We haven't been out. I've been here
Not once.
4 weeks. Well, one time I had a dinner that I was drunk. Yeah, because I drank.
Was anyone
like
else
a teenager.
drunk?
I think I might have been the most drunk, and that may have contributed to me not wanting to drink going forward. Because it was like, you sit down, have dinner. Let's get a cocktail. Okay. Then you have wine with dinner. Then you finish dinner. Let's get a beer. Yeah, just relax. Actually, do you know what? Let's get margaritas as well. And now I'm in absolute. I made a show of myself, perhaps.
So like they look over and you're there and you're chatting to like some Jamaican guitar player and you're like, man, we're the same. The Irish and the Jamaicans are the same.
Yeah, that's the kind of vibe.
Okay,
that's the kind of vibe. Like the type of drunk of like, here, I know we just met last week, but let me tell you the last 5 times I've cried and why I cried. You know, that kind of... I didn't, not exactly that, but close enough. Close enough.
Yeah. That's strong.
Tony's also
That's good.
referencing a conversation he had with my cousin's boyfriend, Leon.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I am.
In Whelan's.
I'm prone to do it at any point. I did it when I was in Las Vegas, and a Native American man sat beside me, and I was all like, Damien Dempsey's got a song called Choctaw Nation. I'm like, oh, God. So we're talking about the fucking Choctaw.
Who is Damien Dempsey?
Yeah, so
you don't know Damien Dempsey? He's not big in Las Vegas.
I hear, man.
I was speaking of Whelan's. I was at my little brother was in town, Finn, and I was in Whelan's with him, and I had that feeling where I was like, oh, I'm a little drunk. I want to go home. He was with his younger friends, so he was hanging out with them, and then I woke up the next day because I went home and I had 3 missed calls from Finn, going like, "Where are you? Where are you?" My phone was on Do Not Disturb, and then I had a photo from Martin Angolo, which is already fucking fear running through my veins.
Yeah.
He met Martin Angolo in Whelan's.
He got Angolo'd. My little brother.
Just for the audience listening, Martin Angolo, great comedian in Dublin here. And he is a great drinker. If you look at his Instagram, a lot of it is pints of Guinness. And in the comedy community at large, Angolo'd means where you go and do your gig and you plan to do your gig and go home and look at your notebook. But you actually drink 10 pints and usually finish in Whelan's in a lock-in.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I mean, Whelan's don't have lock-ins. Whelan's have legal drinking hours only.
Yeah.
And I saw this photo and I, like a fear. My young brother, he's 23 years old. And I was like, oh my God. I didn't even know where he was. He wasn't answering his phone. I was like, is he still getting Angolo'd at this very moment? 9 o'clock in the morning. Is he still in Whelan's? Who knows, has he even left? I was terrified.
He's gone over to that early house on Tower Street.
Yeah.
Probably still
That's gone, Tony.
Is it?
I think it's a Starbucks now.
Oh,
is there an early house in Dublin?
No, I don't think there's any more.
Hey, you're asking the right man. You're right. Let's just say I was up at 6 o'clock this morning drinking coffee because the kids were awake and I'm very tired. But no, I wouldn't really be big into the early house. Yeah, it would worry you though. I wonder if he did it out of spite, you know? Like he's all like, you know, if you're not going to drink with me, I'll get my own little Sundermann. You know?
It was Martin's, because I have a few times managed to slip the claws of Martin at a couple of gigs, and then this must be his way of just showing me his, like a little similar to sort of Putin at the moment or whatever, but sort of a show of power. This was like, if you don't play ball with me, I can get to your family. I know where they are.
Is this what you wanted? Is this what you wanted? Now look what I've got now. Your baby brother. I have it. He's in my clutches.
That's like something from Mobland being like, all right, is this a picture? Is this a picture of your brother? Yeah. Well, maybe I won't drink with you and I'll drink with him. No, I'm like, don't do it. Please don't do it, man.
Just when you mentioned Putin there, there's too much news. I actually, I'm very busy. Some of the days are 12 hours. I can't, I like to keep abreast. I haven't listened to Claire Byrne at all in weeks.
Oh my God.
Sarah Mcernney let me down on the interview with Kneecap's manager. She let me down.
Okay, well, can I just put my finger in the air and just... I think a
you
lot
want
of
to stick
people...
up for Sarah Mcernney?
Well, first of all, I'm a huge fan of Sarah Mcernney. And like in the same way that you're a Claire Byrne stan, I'm a Mcernney stan. And she has been so good on the coverage of the genocide in Palestine. Like literally probably one of the key journalists. She posted that interview and what she was doing was giving the manager of Kneecap, I think his name is Daniel Lambert, as much space as he wanted to talk about what's going on. And I think it's a very simplistic sort of like bot thing to say, oh, RTE, blah, blah, blah. They posted that interview. She did. And she gave a good response saying she was just giving a counter argument, which is good because in spaces where you don't do that, you know, it's it becomes a bit of an echo chamber. So I thought she was quite
Killian,
good.
I thought that as well. And then I saw the guy from the I was like, don't blame her for it's like, we're not annoyed at Sarah Mcernney for the crimes of Netanyahu and the Israeli government. But then someone was like, when do you remember them doing it about Ukraine? At any point did you say, they're like, Ukraine people are being murdered? And then I would go, well, Russia would say they're not being murdered. What do you say to that? That doesn't happen. And we're all in some kind of fucking weird, non-real life Black Mirror, whatever. That's a boring metaphor, but you get the idea. Where, well, maybe they can.
Well, trust.
They would
look
say
at
they
Sarah
can murder.
McInerney's Instagram and see what kind of news you're getting. But also,
I do think Sarah
like that
McInerney's
we're
robust enough that she'll manage.
She's robust.
It's not. It won't stop her. Nothing will get in her way.
Very robust.
She's fine. Yeah, she's fine.
Also, I love that we're like, there's too much news, and we've literally fine-tuned combed a piece of news together on a comedy podcast.
There is too much news. Okay, sorry, no more news. Everyone's sick of the news, but you
No,
can't
I have
ignore
one
the
more
news
bit.
because if you think you could ignore news and ignore politics, that's privilege in action, by the way. You can't do that. Just to say, if you have a lifestyle where you can ignore the politics, then you're privileged. Sorry, go on, Tony.
I think one more piece of news that I think
Sure.
is important. As you know, I didn't even know the Pope was unwell. So imagine my surprise when the fucker died. I was really out of the loop there. It came out of nowhere. He was there at Easter, doing incredible chalice work as per, and then obviously the next day. I think he was sad that he didn't die on Easter Sunday. Do you think he was kind of like,
Did he not? I thought he died on Easter Sunday.
No, it was Easter. It was the Monday.
Okay.
It was the Monday.
Well, that's... Yeah. I don't
what
know
I
if
mean?
I don't know if
I
maybe it
think
would
he
have been-
probably was glad to get one last Easter Sunday into it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I
Can
did
put
get
for-
tens of messages of people about the Pope dying. I know I posted a comedy stand-up clip about the Pope, and I know I talked about the Pope on our podcast, but I got a lot of, like, maybe 70 messages about the Pope. And then when I posted about that, people were like, I actually thought that as well. You were the first person I thought of. I'm like a papal correspondent of comedy.
You are in the kind of conversation as one of the more Catholic material satire comedians performing, I would say.
And I do have a master's degree in canon law. So
Oh yeah? Yeah,
I got
like the
that while I
fuse,
was
watch
here.
it go boom. The only fucking
Canon
law
law,
is the
could you be
boom.
talking about the Arsenal?
The mighty Gunners were trounced by the flagrant liverbirds. Can I put forward a candidate, our personal candidate for Pope?
please.
I've done some research on the popes. There is one pope that I think ticks all of the young hot guy boxes.
Okay.
He is a environmentalist, right? A former Boy Scout.
Oh.
So this is, and used to play the guitar in a funk band.
Fuck off.
And he's more inclusive of LGBT and that kind of shit. But
Ew.
Yeah, I know. But for you, Shane, he's a former scout. It's the Ghanaian Cardinal Peter Turkson.
Right.
So I know, obviously, we have a lot of sway in the conclave. So for any of our...
Well, for people who don't know, a lot of the cardinals listen to this podcast.
They do.
So,
and violently masturbate.
Yeah, but they can't listen now, unfortunately, because of the they're sequestered.
Well, maybe
Peter Turkson.
Isabella Rossellini might be like giving them a little Bluetooth earpiece in there and letting them listen. But if you are listening, our candidate is Cardinal Peter Turkson. There was another guy, though, who is apparently, one of his titles is Primate of Budapest. And I thought that was kind of funny, but he's not actually a monkey, unfortunately. So it's
very disappointing.
I mean, but yeah, so they're going back in there, you know. So what do we think? Do we support Cardinal Peter?
The young
Turkson?
hot guys have said they are going for the Ghanaian one. They have said they're going for the Ghanaian one because he was a Boy Scout. What do you
He
think
plays
it
the
is?
guitar, as we've established,
the
is an
guitar.
essential thing for the doll. So why not the why not the Vatican?
Papacy.
I'll actually withdraw my support. I'm just reading about him here. He thinks that atheistic secularism should be avoided. Now, I know that's to be expected of a pope. But
Okay.
I am an atheistic secularist, so that would be against. And then also he thinks that pro-life activism and the message on climate change are not separable. And that's a very foolish thing to say, particularly from a virgin who should mind his own business. So, fuck you, Peter Turkson, and fuck you all. Long live Pope Francis, slight friend of human beings.
Yeah, they got that chiseled on his epitaph, actually. He's there
No, his
beside-
epitaph is just Franciscus.
Francisco.
Because he's a simple, they all think he's great because he, do you know what? This is why I'm getting messages about the Pope.
I know, because you know this shit.
I know about the
You
Pope.
know all this.
Yeah, you do.
He was a simple man.
What about Michael D. Higgins for Pope? Because he'll be free now. Because I was looking at him, he's such a badass bastard talking to Richard Chambers and the crew over there in the thing, in the Vatican. And he's like, lambasted the other world leaders. He lambasted them.
It's insane. Literally, like an hour ago, Sonny was having breakfast and I started talking about the Eurovision, and then somehow we got into how Israel shouldn't be in the Eurovision and how Russia isn't in the Eurovision, but also maybe shouldn't be in the Eurovision. And then we were really getting into like explaining to like a 5-year-old what's kind of going on in Israel.
Oh, I thought
Anyway.
it was just you and Sonny, and I was like, is Sonny, how much of this conversation is Sonny?
Well, no, Terry goes in fucking big and says stuff like, Trump doesn't realize that America has actually destroyed the economies of some countries and he shouldn't be so anti-immigration. He should be letting those people in because America has previously destroyed their economy. And then I'm like, okay, well, maybe I should try and simplify this a little bit. And I ended up just explaining a little bit about Trump and saying that he's greedy and it's a bit of a cash grab and he's letting all his friends in to take all the resources instead of giving them to the people. And then he was like, does Ireland have a president? And I showed him a picture. I found a picture where Michael D looks the smallest he could possibly look, next to very tall people wearing a green 3-piece suit. And I said, what do you think of that? And he was like, I love him. And we explained that he's a poet and he's empathetic and that he doesn't like Trump. And then he says, I love Michael D and I wish that President Trump would die. And we were like, no.
I love straight up. I love Michael D. Yeah. I love him.
I love him.
I love him. So that's my stance.
So it was a big morning of pure indoctrination, successful indoctrination. I have
The
to say,
battle starts
of
in the
truth.
cradle.
Yeah, over porridge. But
And
yeah,
of course,
no.
in electing May Robinson as president, the women of Ireland not just no longer rock the cradle, they rock the system.
Hey, rock the vote. Boat to vote, boat to home, phone home, ET.
Rock the vote, of course. P. Diddy, big guy behind that.
Yeah.
And that's all gone very well.
Now,
Yes.
to pivot out of that, so we don't get too into that, but if Michael D was to become Pope, do you think he could actually give up shagging Sabina?
I think he could, but I just know she's got a healthy libido. Oh God. Actually, I regret saying that. Why would we say I know we're supposed to be comedians and we're supposed to say stuff, but actually that's ridiculous what I just said.
For a second, you kind of slipped into like TV mode or something. Do you know that kind of like like hyper personality that you put on TV? Like, Shane, what do you think that Michael D could give up sex? Well, I think he could, but I just know she's got a healthy libido.
Yeah, I don't know why I said. I'm sorry for saying that, and I respect them both. I'm sorry for saying that.
And now, Shane, what do you think of the swimwear that the guys were wearing on Love Island?
Yeah, very good swimwear.
Have you guys been watching Mobland?
No, I don't know what that is, but you did do a bit earlier about it, and I kind of got the vibe. It's some sort of mob show.
You also did sound. It sounded like a paid promotion advert. Yeah. Have you guys been watching Mobland? Where is it on, Tony? Where is it on?
Dodgy Box is on.
Right, but
It's
if
on.
you were an ethical person, where would it be on?
If I was an ethnic person, I'd be watching it on Paramount Plus.
So, have you guys seen Mobland streaming now on Paramount Plus?
As an ethnic
Specifically
person,
for
I think
ethnic people.
well, it's great, and Tom Hardy's great. Tom Hardy's playing a more kind of like grounded person, and he's like a fixer. So he comes in, but look, this is how it's going to go down. All right, you're going to go in there. You're going to bring in the guns, and like he delivers these monologues. But Pierce Brosnan and Helen Mirren are in it, both giving the worst Irish accents I've ever heard in my entire life. Actually takes you out of it. Pierce Brosnan's trying to do like a like thick fucking Kerry accent, and Helen Mirren, I think by way of Cove, is trying to do Jamaican because that's how it's kind of coming out. She's like, "Oh God, would you not just put the sausages on? You know? Oh, for Jesus' sake, man!" And it's hard to watch.
Yeah, but I actually was having this conversation here. That's weird that Pierce Brosnan would have a bad one. Sometimes there is a phenomenon where you watch a film and there's somebody who has like a one scene and you go, that is the worst Irish accent I've ever heard. And then you look them up on IMDb and they are fully from Kenmare. So that's a weird thing that can happen. But other countries, there seems to be a lot of Irish people in the films and things, and people doing Irish voices for some reason. And then when we watch things, like when Americans watch things, they see British people doing American accents and they just go, "Oh, he's British." And they just ignore it. English people see Americans and they're like, "Oh, whatever, that's a bad English accent, but I'll watch the film." And everyone else gets on with it. And we are so uppity about it here. We should just let it go and stop worrying about it. Nothing's going to change. No one's going to be able to do it. I feel like let it go. Tony, you're grimacing there. I go to Tony on this.
Tony?
Well, look, it might be my own bias, but I feel like those other accents are simpler to... I think it's a simpler tone. It's a simpler tonality. I think there's a beautiful musicality to the Irish language, beautiful musicality in how we say things.
And we're great. And O'Connell Street is the widest main street in Europe. So
yeah,
and the bridge is wider than it is long.
Yeah, our famous,
which, as
our
I've said before, is totally
bridge.
normal. When things are wider than they are long, that's normal, and it's not a big deal.
Get it out.
I'm just saying. I'm not talking about anything specifically. I'm just saying when things are wider than they are long, it's fine, and it doesn't matter, and you can get on through life fine, and people don't get too freaked out when they see it.
Yeah,
and foreplay is very important.
Yeah, foreplay is key. Yeah, actually preferred, I think. Yeah. For those just tuning in, we're talking about Killian Sundermann's wide penis, and thank you so much to all our parents for listening to us have this conversation. Do share it with your parents.
Mobland is a show for ethnic people on the Dodgy Box network.
Mobland is for ethnic people with a taste for crime.
Okay, good. Good. We're getting these little sound bites out.
Would you look at that? Look at my screen. Look at the ceiling.
Oh, your fire alarms or light has fallen through.
Yeah.
And people think you're rich.
There's a real incentive for people to watch the YouTube. If you don't watch on YouTube, guys, and you just listen on your earphones, you're missing out key stuff like Killian's light fixture being slightly ajar there. Like, this is the type of shit. This is why we're the number one podcast in the world.
The story. If you're only listening to this in audio, you're only getting half the story.
That's RuPaul.
Oh, that is, yeah. I haven't watched it in a while.
Yeah, it's gone.
Speaking of which, I texted you the other day, Shane, because I was in the George.
Yes, tell us do.
I went too early. I went far too early. But I didn't know how long I would have to go out. But I was out.
What were you doing there?
Great question. Well, I had a couple of drinks. I went out with Jordan and my friend Jago. And we had a couple of drinks, and then we went to get cocktails, and that was nice. And I'm like, this is great. Like all the things that we normally do, and we act like is an inconvenience that like our girlfriends or whatever bring us like cocktails. Oh my God, it's so expensive. And then we're drinking them, and the cocktails are lovely. And then I was like, here, I want to go to the George. I've never been to the George. And then we went, and Jordan kept saying it's too early because he knows now. He knows those things now. And we went, and do you know what? It was Hen Party Central. You know what I mean? I was expecting crop tops. I was expecting pecs. I wanted to see some pecs. I wanted to see some aspirational male bodies because I love the male form. You know, I'm a straight man who loves the male form, famously.
What time were you there?
Yeah,
probably about 9:30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't get going till like 10:30, 11.
The hot top off boys, they were only getting into the shower then.
Yeah.
And then they had to do a 27-part skin care. Yeah, well, look, you gave it a try.
I gave it a try, and now, do you know what? I'm out on the whole gay thing.
You're out, or
No, I'm out. I'm yeah.
I'm out with the whole gay thing. Yeah, I'm that as well. I'm me too.
Yeah. Okay. Good. No, but when you said about just because I moved on to that from the foreplay thing, because I won't name one of the boys, but one of the boys was like, this is a gross kind of laddish what if question, and I thought it was the dumbest question I've ever heard. It was like if Terry had two vaginas and one of them, the wrong one meant certain death for the both of you, what would you do? And I was like, probably not Shacker, like probably not have sex with her, and we would probably just live comfortably doing foreplay to each other and living a happy life alive. And they were like, oh man, that's crazy. And I'm like, this is the dumbest laddish, it's like, what if question I've ever heard in my entire life.
We don't know who said that because Tony was very good in hiding the identity of the person, but there is a 50% chance it was Jordan, and there was a 50% chance that it was Mark Jago. So you could slip it down to those two guys.
I'm declining to comment on that whatsoever. I'm just
okay,
declining.
good. Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
I'm abstaining.
Fair. Okay, that's fine. I mean, I'm just trying to. I think that. How is that even? I just think there's better. Would you rather questions out there? To be honest,
definitely. Well, your silence speaks, Shane. Your silence speaks. It says that you have no interest in talking about that juvenile straight conversation.
No, thank you. Not
anyway, butt stuff.
Anyway, but so you were three straight boys went to the George.
Yeah, that's
interesting.
Yeah.
And then you were also saying that there was hen parties. Both of those are controversial things to have in a gay bar, because sometimes the hen parties are like, we want to have a hen party because the gays are so fun. And then the gays are like, well, it's kind of for queer people to be in here and not really for you, like, because people think that everything's grand, but actually some gays still want a space where it's private. They mightn't be out at work and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if a gay bar presents a space where women can dance safely and without intervention from those around them, why shouldn't the gay bar include that? So there's all this debate, but as long as you behave yourself and know that you're in someone else's house, it should be fine. That's my opinion anyway.
Yeah, we did. And we danced. And actually, I did a kind of a weird manipulative thing where we were all there and we were like looking at everyone when it got going, because it did get going at some point. You know, at first there was like a hen that got up who was wearing a sash, and then she started dancing on the stage on her own and kind of like recreating kind of like, you know, moves that she's seen on RuPaul. And I was like, oh, I don't know, but this feels a bit off. Oh. But then things did get going and we were watching everyone dance and the music was good. And I was like, I was saying to the lads, isn't it gas out? Like, you know, it's actually great to dance. And like, you know, a lot of the time we're like, oh God, yeah, I suppose I'm only here and dancing because, you know, my wife wants to dance and stuff. But like, it is actually fun. And we were like, yeah. And I was like, don't be mad if we actually just three of us lads got them and started dancing. Like, we just as a laugh, like, and then we all did, and we had a fucking wonderful time. Could barely get Jordan out of there.
Tony. I'm glad to hear that now.
Yeah, it does sound like the part of the novel where you and Jordan like finally lock lips, and then.
Well, this is what Terry was saying. She's like, "Is this something you know? Is there something you want to tell me?"
Worried about? Yeah.
I told her about my night, and I was like, went got cocktails and went to the George, and she was all like, "And you bring me to the fucking cinema as a date? What the fuck is that shit? You don't think I would like to do that? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that with Jordan?"
Yeah, what a beautiful night you had.
Yeah, it was a wonderful time. It was a wonderful time. What were you doing, Shane, when I texted you? Because it was Saturday night or Friday night.
I probably was doing nothing. I haven't really been socializing. No, socializing, yes, I'm trying to be, because when I went on tour, I know this is different, but when I went on tour to Australia, I didn't do much and I regretted it. So now that I'm here, I'm trying to do. I am also still, I have a lot of writing to do, so that's really fucking annoying because it's always hanging over me. And my focus has gone, like what? Okay, I was asking, actually, Jordan, I asked this of. Yesterday, we moved hotel here, and then I was like, right, I'm here for a week. Okay, flash forward, turns out I was wrong. I'm here for another 2 weeks. I'm fucking mess. This part of it, what do I need to get diagnosed with? I had the bag then, and I was like, right, I'm only here if I'm here only for a week, will I bother unpacking the bag? And then I just spent about an hour and a half kind of walking around, looking at all the stuff in the sitting room floor, going, when will I unpack that? And I need to do this work. I have to sit down and write. I have to switch off the phone and write for like at least 2 hours. But I was like, I couldn't write because I couldn't decide whether to unpack. What is that? Well, I need to be diagnosed with something because it can't possibly be something I can personally take responsibility for. There must be something I can medicate.
Lazy cuntism?
Yeah, quick fix.
Lazy cuntism? Is it lazy cuntism? Like, do I need to just pull up my socks and behave, Killian? Do you think? Dr. Killian?
Go listen to Diary of a CEO and they'll tell you some wacky stuff that'll probably not make you a better person, but make you think that you're a better person. So
Should I have gotten Huel?
Yes.
Yes.
Would that have helped?
Yes. Have you not
Huel
been doing your
felt
Huel?
a bit better.
I haven't been hueling. I haven't been eating my super greens in the morning either, my twigs. That could be part of it.
I think you're just circumstantially. I think you're a very
No, uncut.
Okay. There was a lot of circumstantial lads out in the George I saw. No, I think you are a very ambitious and productive person, and I think you are just conditionally right now sitting in the Venn diagram of fatigue because you're working long hours and overwhelmed because you have a lot to do. And I think you're just sitting there at the moment in the middle of that. And I think if you just wrote down if you actually had to make like 30 things that you have to do and you just got it down on paper, it would kind of get out of your head, and then you could be able to see which thing you want to do in the order that you want to do it.
I'm going to try that today because I have a day off today, and I want to just finish and keep just type like a little typist and just get it all done.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also you're doing a huge thing that requires a lot of energy and attention. So, like if you can write, but like you're doing.
No, I'm
such
up
a
against
big
the
thing.
deadline. I have to.
Okay, well then you better just put the fucking right
Knuckle down.
You have knuckle down and just do it.
Yeah, but can I not have a tablet? Can someone? I don't mean an iPad. I mean, can someone
Tony,
get
it's not.
me?
He seems pretty depressed here. He's thinking of buying a tablet.
Do we have that in the account? Do we have that in the shared? He looks pretty down.
I want to
he
be
looks
medicated.
pretty down. He wants his medication as a laptop, and the doctor is calling, Dr. Curry.
I'll tell you, I am going to become a new person. Wait till you see, because I'm at summer camp. So when I come home, here's some things I've been wearing all the wrong clothes. The costume woman, I don't know if I said this in the podcast before, if I just told you this. When I did the fitting for the costumes in Dublin, she was like, I was like, see, I have the young, cool stuff. I've got a baggy top. And she was like, no. And I was like, okay. And then she kept putting these things on me. And I was like, I just don't feel. And she's like, look at this. A short cropped thing, cropped sleeves. She's like, look, you look hot. And I was like, I don't know. And then she showed me a picture. And I was like, I do. I guess I do look hot. So all my clothes are going to be donated to charity. And I'm going to buy other secondhand clothes to replace them with cool new styles. Everyone is cutting I've basically cut the bottom off all my clothes. This is what you do here. Because she cuts she keeps cutting all the costumes. She's like, let me see you. And then she goes, I'm just going to cut that. And she cuts the bottom off and it looks 1,000 times better. I'm also getting those Birkenstock sandal things. The ones that are not the sandally ones, the strappy ones, the slippery ones.
Yeah.
I need them for my new life. I need them.
Well, I hope
I don't
Raymond
like them
can
because
rub it
they're
in your
always
face
falling
because-
off my feet.
Well, Raymond was talking big about those last year. He saw Ryan Carrick wearing them and he realized that they were cool. So,
yeah.
just saying.
Raymond is inspired by Ryan Carrick footwear a lot. He did see Ryan Carrick in shoe Doc Martens and he bought shoe Doc Martens.
Yeah.
And let me ask you, Shane, if Raymond had two dicks and one of them would make you die,
Oh, man. I don't know. I think I'd fucking risk it. Women are property. My property.
And this costume designer, is this Gokwan, is it?
You know who she is? Do you remember we were on the Tommy Tiernan show?
I do.
And we said, love your suit. And he said, a girl made it for me. That's who's the costume designer. She made his suit and she does the costumes for this. And everyone looks gorgeous all the time. And it's so nice when you're shooting a new day. The whole show takes place over 7 days. And then once you're in a new part, you have a new outfit. And it's so exciting to go down and see what you're going to be wearing because they're all gorgeous. And I have to be like very scantily clad all the time. And I just have to make my peace with that. and it's helping with my body, my relationship to my body. It's helping. Shock therapy. I think this is what you have to do.
Yeah, that's good. Maybe is there
Yeah.
anything you could do with that? Like maybe in terms of like your to-do list, maybe just do it in the nip. Maybe there's a sort of a freeing aspect of you getting your bits out.
I don't mean getting in the nip. I mean like sitting in unflattering. I'm doing a lot of what you would call in a Gokwan era would call unflattering and angles. But I have to be like I'm quite like in a like nothing on the top and the smallest like boxer size shorts.
Yes.
Okay.
Very
And I
nice.
just have to accept that that's what
You
that
sent
is.
us a photo, and honestly, looks fucking amazing. Like
Yeah,
that's
It's a very
really
slimming
good.
mirror as well. I sent you. Did I send you that?
Well,
But you look great.
I don't know. You look great in it. You should bring that mirror everywhere.
Yeah.
It's a gorgeous mirror.
You should hire someone to walk around next to you and say, "Only through the mirror
Yeah,
may
yeah.
you
No,
work
no,
on
no,
my
no.
massage."
Only through the mirror. Only through the mirror.
I lost my earrings that your wife gave me, Tony.
My wife.
Yeah, I lost them.
Oh no.
We were laughing a lot at Kyla Cobbler's Instagram stories about Inye jewelry. They were very funny.
Yes,
She
she's a
kept
big
calling
fan.
Terry Georgie or something.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she did. But and then Terry's like, I don't mind. That's fine. Yeah, it's big things popping. They launched the Clada and Kyla was very nice to talk about it. So it's very nice. Big thing in the house, you know.
Jewelry.
Jewelry. Yes, very much so. Also, we have a new sponsor. It's my wife's jewelry brand.
Oh,
Inye.
thank you for that,
Just let
that
you know,
email. I
yeah.
must have lost it in the Monday morning emails.
So
but
if I can just read that. So look, if you're an ethnic person that likes Mobland, then you're gonna love Inye jewelry.
That is part of my new life as well. I'm going to get rings. I'm going to start getting rings, Tony. I wear rings every day here
Whoa.
for my costume. And they come in a little bag every morning. And it has my character name. And it says, say my character name is John. It says, John every day. And I have to put on all these jewels every day.
That's
Unless
like
he's wearing a neckerchief. In that case, he doesn't wear the necklace. Get it right.
what size finger are you?
I don't know. But they did
5?
have to put a tightener.
No, it's letters.
The people who work in film and TV, like I can't believe people work so hard and then people will just go, this is shy. RTE can't make shy. No one from RTE is here, right? RTE gave some money. No one's here. Everyone's is so impeccable at their job. I cannot, like comedy is like so shit compared to what they do here. Everyone knows everything at all times. It's incredible. The microphone man's like comes over and he's like, you don't need a mic today. You're just raising your hand for this, right? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I won't put it on you because the boom will get you. Like they know what you're doing. Like I cannot. It's incredible.
Wow.
And like, okay, this sounds like ridiculous from a freelance person. I'm like, people with jobs work hard. Like that's what it sounds like. But like, my goodness, it's incredible.
Can you, without spoiling anything from the show, can you tell us of a time that you were chuffed with your scene or performance?
Tom Von Lawler gave me a literal pat on the back and said that was so great.
fuck off.
Wow.
I'm,
Yeah.
I'm Googling him now.
Tom Von Lawler.
You know him.
I don't know him, but I'll get
You
there.
know him. He's the weird sorcerer from Avengers
Bombadillo?
Endgame.
Bombadillo.
Nidge.
Nidge.
Yeah, Nidge, yeah.
From Love Hate.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, I wouldn't think of him as Nidge from Love Hate. I just think of him as Tom. TDL. But
That's great. Was that a comedy scene or was it an emotional scene?
that was a funny scene about being sad.
And
That
he
makes
was
sense.
patting you on the back. And it wasn't a sort of pat on the back on, hey, look, we all have days like that. It wasn't that kind of pat on the back.
No, he
It was,
thumped me. He thumped me on the back. And then he said that was great, meaning he enjoyed thumping me.
And he patted you, he thumped you on the back and then grabbed the back of your neck really hard. And he said, that was great, but this is Nidge's fucking show. Also, stop calling me Tom, it's Nidge.
Yeah, he talks about it
Weird.
a lot, to be honest.
It's weird.
Like the other day we were talking about, the news or whatever. We were talking about Putin, and he was like, the thing is, with someone like Nidge, and we were like, oh.
We should send Nidge over there to sort Putin out, right, guys? Right, guys?
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff. Killian, that's actually a much better joke, and I'm embarrassed myself.
No, that
No,
was
you
good.
teed him up for that.
No,
Teed me
I
up.
try and be better than Killian. That's kind of my standard. If I can just be better than Killian, so now
You have to
I'm
get up early.
fucked.
You have to get up early in the morning.
Can we go for drinks when I come back? Would that be allowed? Let's do that. We can have quarterly drinks.
Yes,
that?
we
Well,
should.
no, we're doing our Young Hot Guys London show, which I think is it sold out or is it nearly sold out? But if we do that, then surely we'll be getting absolutely locked in London town.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so look, if anyone wants to spot us, we'll be out in London town.
Yeah, nowhere good though because we're going to be in Leicester Square Theatre, so there's nowhere
That's good.
Isn't
Great.
that very
That's Soho.
okay?
was
Yeah,
that?
I suppose.
We can
yeah,
go
we
to the
will be in Soho.
Devonshire where all the Englishmen drink their pints of Guinness, and we can go. That's proper good. Let's split the J.
That'd be sweet.
Am I from an episode of Mobland, popular with ethnic communities?
Do you know what's funny in Mobland they do when you know it's a baddies pub? Union Jacks everywhere. Very clever. Very clever. Well, if we're going out in Soho, I have a real goo on me for gay bars now, but there probably isn't any in Soho. What can we do?
Can't think of any in Soho.
In Soho? Nah. I had a cool glam night gigging in London on the cool
I
comedy
saw.
scene.
I
You
saw
looked
that,
amazing. Your video was
Yeah.
great.
It was very good. They the Top Secret Comedy Club, if you're in London, you should go check it out. It's very exciting. Well, it's been around 10 years, but it's still very exciting.
Yeah, go on.
And you email them and trying to get a spot. You're back at the bottom again. You know, you're like, you know, no one really knows who you are. You're emailing people. You have to send them clips of you doing stand up, which is really embarrassing because, well, it's not embarrassing, but there's a bit of like, they go, okay, send us some of your stand up. You send it to them via WeTransfer, and then you just see this transfer has been downloaded, and you're sitting there just like, what do they think? What do they think of my jokes? And then 10 minutes later, you see the bubbles going boop, boop, bloop, 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 bloop. And you're like, what are they going to say? What are they going to say? But then they said, oh yeah, we'll give you a spot on Sunday. I went there, did my first spot. When you arrive, this is London comedy. You get there, the guy's like, listen, we actually sold a lot of tickets, so it's going to be 2 shows. You finish downstairs, you run upstairs, you do another show. I was like, oh my God, 2 shows, class. And then they go, oh, we actually have a late show. We're going to give you 3 shows. I was like, oh my God, this is how it works in London. Then when I'm about to run off to the other venue, they're like, might be 4 shows. In one day, 4 shows.
Whoa.
That's how it
Yeah.
fucking works in London.
I've only done 4 shows once, and I enjoyed it. It was kind of thrilling.
It's great.
London comedy is just so different. Like even there's actors here who work in London. I'm working away as an actor on a production in Tenerife at the moment. I'm on location shooting. And
Yes,
they
with
like
Midge.
the English actors and the London-based Irish actors, people just go to comedy all the time. They just go, yeah, like you did Top Secret. They're all like, oh, I love Top Secret. Like they just pop in like the way you go to the cinema. Like we need to fix Irish comedy. We need to sort it out. Like people need to go more.
Would you
But
say
the
we need to
secret
make
to
it
Top
great
Secret
again?
is that it's yes. No, the secret that Top Secret have is that they charge £1 for the show, but then when you're leaving, they they just sort of rough you up like an episode of Mobland, and
Don't be quoting
they go
shit you
like,
don't
you know,
understand. Helen Mirren
But
comes
guess
out
what?
being
So
like,
I get
"Ya
there.
bomba
This is the lineup. This is the lineup that they
Sorry,
have.
sorry,
This is
Killian. I
London
really wanted
town.
to hear whatever Tony was going to say about Helen Mirren.
Yep. Yeah, sorry.
I just said Helen Mirren comes out, roughs you up, and says, "Ya bomba clot."
See, that was worth it. I would have liked to hear that.
That was
Okay, passing over to Killian in Ranelagh. Killian.
Well, Shane.
I think we have a problem with Killian's audio. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I think we've actually connected now. Killian, go ahead. We have you now.
Well, Shane,
We're going
I
to take
do
a
have to
small
say,
break and try and... Sorry, Killian, if you want, we'll take a small break and come back to you after this.
of course, the Israel government would say that they are just defending themselves.
Israel. Now, Killian Pett, go
It's
on with your
really
story.
bad right now.
Did you do good in your comedy in your 4 shows?
No, the lineup you were saying.
The lineup, first of all, was going on first, Joanne McNally.
Great.
Going on second, Alison fucking Spittle.
Oh my God.
Going on third, Killian Sundermann. So I was like, not only am I following, arguably the biggest comedian in Ireland at the moment, I'm also following one of my favorite comedians in the world, and then it's fucking me. And I was like, to Alison, I was like, this is fucking shit. And she's like, well, at least you're not following Joanne fucking McNally. And then, and then I went on, and I was nervous because I was like, I'm in London town. They're about 250 seater or something like that. Let me tell you, I fucking smashed. I smashed. The guy came up to me afterwards. He was like, man, that was so fucking good. You fucking absolutely tore the roof off the place. I was like, well, you should have seen show number 2 where the roof fucking fell in on me, or at least the audience wished it did. But luckily show 3 out of 3, which is sort of the big one that they film, went very, very well. Very nice. And everyone was coming up to me afterwards. They were saying, you were the funniest. And they were saying, like, I've never seen a funny woman comedian. Those 2 women were not funny at all. And I was just like, thanks so much. I really appreciate it. No. They were
nice. No, how very 90s. When misogyny was fine and encouraged.
And the guy there gave you a nidge, did he? He gave you a nidge after.
What's a nidge?
Oh, Killian! A pat on the back, a nidge. Tony has used my experience with the actor who played Nidge to create the name of a pat on the back thing. See, that's also a peek behind the curtain. That lineup, the way they pick the lineup, people think like, oh, they just throw them up. No, Joanne McNally was obviously going first because she's doing new material, so she wants to get in and out and do something else, right? So they're like, right, and people will know her. Then they go, right, who will I put after that? Well, I'm not putting that fucking Irish chap. Alison will go next. She'll be grand following Joanne McNally. Isn't that terrible? And this is the comedy you just face all the time. You're like, you know what their decisions are, and you just have to go, cool, yeah, I accept that. You're right. Alison's great, and I'm not that great. You have to just accept those things.
Yeah. It's nice to headline. There's Joanne, there's Alison, then there's me headlining.
Joanne McNally opened for you.
Yeah, she opened.
She opened for me, and it was real nice of her to open for me.
You gave her a dig out.
I said to her after, I said, "You get there, you'll get there. Keep it. Put the head down. Keep at it."
She's actually good. She's actually good. She will go places. Like
she has there's some good gear in there. It's just there's kind of there's just a little bit of timing would be off with what's her name? Joan
Spittle.
Time be off, and she just she needs to build an audience. That's what I think. She needs to really focus on that.
Yeah.
I think that's it. I think once people know who she is, I think she's
she needs to get her name out there. Yeah.
Did you do your opening bit where you go out and you're kind of like, I'm shit. Don't laugh if you don't like me. This is shit. Did you do that bit?
Yeah, they love that. That's what our audience always loves, when you go out and you say, I'm shit. Don't laugh at me.
Those other two
no,
are
you have
so
only 10
funny.
minutes. You have to, and they actually said, they messaged me and they said, do your best bits. Which is quite but they're like, it's your first time. We've never seen you before. Do your best bits. But actually, like, I haven't done that in a long, long time, where I've gone out and I've just done 10 minutes of jokes that I know smash. And so there's something really fun about that, actually. Like,
it is an absolute joy. That is, I know it's good to work on comedy and work on your craft. But when you go somewhere you've definitely never gigged before, the people have definitely never seen you before, it's such a fucking treat, because you're like, I will roll out my greatest hits. Tiny things, big things. Oh, it's such a dream. You go, you'll like this now. You'll all enjoy this. It's it's like a night off, but people cheer for you. Ugh. Yeah. Come off it.
See, what's difficult though about being kind of a self-hating comedian sometimes is that, like, you write something and you're like, oh, that's better than my old shit. Oh, I don't want to do my old shit. My old shit's shit, And so I'm constantly feeling like, when I do something, it's like, oh, but I think these are my best bits. I think literally this joke I wrote on Wednesday is my best bit and better than other shite that, I don't like watching myself again and going back.
You have to, Tony. You have to. Everyone has to get over this thing. I hate watching myself. Hate to sound my own voice. You're not going to get better as a comedian unless you're watching yourself. Even if you listen to audio back, you just have to. You just have to. I haven't been a comedian for years. I work primarily as an actor now. Yeah. But I remember when I was gigging like you guys, looking for gigs and all in the hustle. Whereas now I don't. I just get parts direct. I don't audition. You know what I mean? That's years since I auditioned even. But I remember what that was like. And keep the heads down. Keep the heads down. Just keep chipping away at it. And one day you could be kind of an actor, dramedy actor like me.
You're very serious now. I realize.
Oh, well, God bless you for saying that. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Which means it's better, because like you used to be very funny, but now you're very serious. So that's better now.
Yeah. I'm such a deep thinker.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Even ethnically.
You're going to be on with Keelty now, and you're going to be all how we were on Tommy. Being all serious.
Yeah.
Being like, no, I am. Yeah, no, I'm really excited about the show, but there's an epidemic happening right now of hen parties taking over our cultural institutions.
Paddy, you have to think about, we need to look after men. Men are lonely, Patrick. There's a loneliness to being a man. And that's you're kind of forced into that. You're pushed into this arena where you're competing with others around you. You have to be. And people are watching adolescents and shows like that, which I welcome. I know, of course, I know Stephen Graham. You know, from being actors. But people are really... We need to look after our boys and tell them they're amazing at football. And that'll help.
Paddy, I know 3 straight men who went to the George the other day just to find some fucking connection. Just to find some fucking connection, you know? And maybe they were a little curious. And they were looking for pecs and they didn't see them. And they went home very disappointed. And that would make me question their sexuality. It would. What are we talking about? Anyway, the show comes out on Thursday. It's on the Dodgy Box, popular among ethnic minorities.
I used to make jokes about birds with 2 fannies, and I used to shag them. Now I listen.
I listen to the fannies.
Now I listen to both their fannies, even though one of them means certain death.
My wife is dripping with fanny.
Well, that's a loop on a loop on a loop.
Well, thank you everyone for listening to our podcast. It's such a treat and really amazing to just get the word out to you guys. Don't forget, you can catch Shane Daniel Byrne on tour in Waterford, in Dublin's Vicar Street, which is sold out, but they'll sell you more tickets because people stand around the back and all. So, it's sold out, but you'll get a ticket. That's the way they do it there.
Absolutely.
I'm calling that sold out, is what I'm saying. That's it. I'm not and Waterford and also Castle Bar and also Gweedore, all available, and Blanchardstown.
Oh, yeah, me too. And actually, if you like sitting down, there's a few seats available for my Vicar Street. If you're not don't want to be fucking standing up all evening, and the night before, sit fucking down because there's some seats still available at my show. Come to mine instead.
I think there's seats for mine, Killian, as well. I think there's some chairs. So don't worry. I think there are some seats, but yeah, it's nearly gone there now. Yeah.
And then also, no, that's it. Yeah, that's it. All the rest are gone. So tough.
And if you want to catch me, I've recently been hanging clothes upon a washing line. So I've been really enjoying that. We've had some good drying weather. So if you want to catch me, also you know where I live. And London.
Can I just say just one last thing?
Also London.
Why are you watching your Easter
You watching
sketch
your
again?
own sketch there?
Yeah, I just wanted to read this comment I just got this morning.
Mm-hmm.
And it said, "Oh, thanks heaps. It was my Easter video about Virgin Mary. My sense of humour reinstated after losing Pope Francis. Collapsed Catholic, have been feeling a bit down. More gold like this." And I just felt like saying, "Oh, babe, if you came to the wrong place. If that's what you think, isn't it mad?"
Did she say collapsed Catholic?
Yeah, I don't know, Killian.
Instead of
lapsed,
she said
love.
collapsed.
Do you know what? On reflection, it looks like a fake account. So let's just...
My mum was talking about your video yesterday. She was talking about it. My little brother was like, "Oh yeah, she's fucking watching this fucking video, fucking laughing all the time." And my mum was like, "No, but it was very, very funny." And he was like, the joke was over in the first 20 seconds or something like that.
Killian, why are you doing that? Why would you do that?
And then my mum...
What is wrong with you?
Wait, my mum was like, my mum was like, "No, it's layered. It has the writing. It was fantastic."
Totally right.
Okay, thanks so much. All I've heard from this whole podcast now, I'll walk away with, is the joke is over in 20 seconds.
The TikTok generation.
Why would you give me a bad review?
Goes on.
Is this about Vicar Street? Why would you do that? What is wrong with you? Have you no consideration of my feelings?
You have to understand, this is the situation is my brother
He had just been Angolo'd.
Watching TV.
His brother had just been
Angolo'd. He's sitting watching TV, and my mum is on the other end of the couch just watching some video that he is not watching, and that's the review that you just got.
All right, wrap this podcast up. We gotta go. Tony has an appointment.
I do. I
Okay.
do. So, look, you're very funny, like, you know, and you're
It's
both
over.
very funny. All right.
Call it. Dead ass.
All right.
Cheers.
They're attractive. They're very attractive.
Hot and loud.
And a little bit sad.
He was the best guy around.
Oh my, is it hot in here or what?
You're an attractive guy.
It's the fabulous Tony
I'm
Cantwell.
talking about Shane, Daniel, Byrne.